nach tí séithne ní mai ceanna go chat amjarnach tá ceappa. Arthur tí séithne it's about 3 weeks ago since I last did one of these live streams. Teach tena ma beidir leabhar na mar sin chun me was the other hand, I can my timer in the set. I'll put a timer now on the watch. No matter 30 minutes starting now. Tosinish. Sha well lechan chani kim tama YouTube with cha agus TikTok and cha. Gus Jenny kim my on the cha phone. I don't see anyone here yet. Jim was that la gailge la barrel mile. Níos cín caiid an gailge tá daine vis in a daine with I don't know what standard of Irish people have, so but I'm kind mar sin bit nach na tiki dis me na tiki set me. Rechi te me is crable bill. Agus tan se magalór ní teróchan tá se tau tá se tau TOGH tau tá sé tau, it's grand, it's good, tá sé tau. Tá mai ceap lá I can't go done nach I think tomorrow's meant to be very bad. The hánig bad last that she in this shirt that would have like the last bad lastish LASTIS lastish cargo bad lastish cargo boat. So hánig bad lastish generta would have like so the cargo boat came there about an hour ago. No machine. Gus Shafanik say no, we shall camp here. Tomorrow, it's supposed to come tomorrow. Kertamara. My other Drochaim shit Hanik shine up, but because of the poor weather forecast for the weekend, it came today. I was checking the boat last this March. Jardine is Jahina. March Jardine is Jahina. It comes on, the cargo boat comes on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But it's not going to come tomorrow nor Friday because of the poor weather conditions. So my van sheets while she could my wife went down in the car and when I minded the little one. And really doesn't care glow, that's grand. So I think I'm done one it's our YouTube. There's one person done one or TikTok go fall. But at my sort Tama kind of the go fall. I'm talking to myself now for the time being. I could jig me is couple done is a girl about. Hopefully a few people will need her main folk or source command in the krill. I didn't put any live stream. I didn't put any message up or post that I'd be doing a live stream later. There's Sammy Echrak. I should just get this new more on yet. My Jahoga Gorea Chagas to my goal making tea glass, green tea. Smile away. Tea, smile away. I like tea, smiling tea glass. Tea glass go hard it's my old which I go my ancient. I find green tea, it's good for the mind, good my mohiveness puts me at ease. What be my first mohiveness could just smoke on my leg. I'm usually as they say Merle, I'm usually chill be my chill go hondo be my having so go hondo lach so I didn't go take glass go my I better placebo nearly some maybe it's placebo but I feel nice calm but not too relaxed, I feel alert but calm but alert. My heaviness douchi fashion dosach brosach lively or alive or alert I suppose but near those cafe not like coffee near a cafe mo finish I haven't had coffee since 2019 and my all Vrama I sensed or I it was giving me energy but negative energy or kind of feeling kind of Vrama sort of ooh the number of fun of my Ní hena se sin am a stimulant, cafe. Like cafe, a lot of people, they don't kind of, realize that coffee is a stimulant. So, it makes you feel jittery. Well, some people anyway, I think a certain percentage of the population. Ach cén sin me hain mis duine gan a Johnson dúirte éirin cehfuil tú tá se thar céin tá se thar céin leis áilinn éilinn a bheith éilinn ní me cinnti cecha leis an weimnú a ceart cecha leis an rá ceart ach siúcra bis a té cinní mu té glas ní céint ní chun éhhain ná siúcra. Tá go siúcra sa té glas bhílach se. If you put sugar in the tea, take glass in the green tea, it ruins it. So no, ní bhacum le sugar chur sa té glass. I don't put ní chuim sa té glass. So there's Ireland cehahfuil tú dúirt Ireland cecha ní chun sa táach cehahfuil tú tá maith céin cecha tú hé Tá sunga tú go maith agus dúirt níos fearna éilíonn réchaí. Ní fearna éilíonn ará réchaí go maith mar se ní má róganna mar se na túbéid mar se. Agus there's throw ban. Is there any online sources you'd recommend for absolute beginners? Need a Sam. Absolute beginners, banner TikTok, YouTube shorts, banner TG Cooler Car, TG Car, Cooler Car, kid shows. That might be a good way to start. Cooler Car has I béimiise brandú ahannig Cooler Car na leinte sem Malta tá Cailín Belga. I myself are looking at Cooler Car very often these days because I have a toddler, so a daughter, so my brother go minic. So go follow Mori. For absolute beginners, that might be a good way. Reading children's books, children's cartoons, because they've subtitles and generally speak very slowly. Bit of involved, but rubbing these mullen, these silly. So kids books, kids cartoon shows, Cooler Car pages. For absolute beginners, pages. Now, enter the chart TikTok. Cehahfuil tú mar cín tá go leir teachad seo. There's lots of things. Sin a volunteer, that's what I'd recommend, I suppose. Children's books, leabhar go fáistí óga, leabhar go asúid óga, agus Cooler Car, Maybe some more for glitch or TikTok. I'm not sure my TikTok is glitching or not, but it's cool. Yeah, so Mata if you have any questions for me, if you have any questions for me, a native Irish speaker from the Iron Islands. What does play mean? Play, PLE fada. Play is to discuss. So play agus Spraoi. That's the name of my YouTube and my Spotify, my podcast. So play agus Spraoi. Discuss and fun. Discuss and have fun. Spraoi. Agus bhfuil tú gobud a bit bhfuil tú gobud. Ní má gobud full ábachas le dia. I'm not working at this moment in time. Tá couple hat seachtain focus to say, so there's about a week left in the tourist season at sin bei Susan. Well, ní ein Susan a riamh na ríre, well, we don't have any sus. Ní ein Susan a riamh, me gúnlaí gobud, gúnlaí púchallum. I'm always púchallum. Púchal, doing things, you're never idle. Púchal, you're doing things around the house or doing, not idle, púchal, yeah. Ta, no sip it up. As in just go Joe. Is Sivilum tea glass. I love tea glass. I love green tea. That's an full line. Yeah, it's very, very healthy. Add a Q&A sticker up in AI, in a YouTube AI, that's YouTube AI, it's not shafach. Rugov agus tógiúh le gailgiú se tógiúh. Tean in the Sire. Tean in Sire ceann na gaeltachas largest achieved, one of the strongest gaeltachs in the country. Dúnagáil as Dúnagáil Arlene, go jazz. Cúnda an jazz Dúnagáil. Lovely county Dúnagáil. Tír Chonel. Kedna Cage was the phrase I used a lot in my exam, believe it or not. It means. Kesna Cage nishach skidder daidel do. Kesna Cage, yeah, believe it or not. Yeah, that's I think Carca Lore. Daide in Charles, as Kunda Daide. Goma, Kunda Daide. Good jazz. Got Ordine as a Twiskirt. That's the people from the north on Twiskirt na Hayden. Diddly diddle dum. Kahir. Oh, good jazz, ma. Jerry girls, when I color the Jerry girls, it's in a mean. I color but chin. Sinclair, Malishka, Sinclair, be my. That's it. My kept a whole episode feckiam. I think I've seen every episode of Jerry Girls. My whole episode feckiam. Jerry Girls. Kylie ni as study. Kylie ni ready. Kylie ni study. Jack Clarmas for Ama. Tasha bar marajers much chagan amar, Castellanor, and barul be or Ufa Dial. Tasha fundy barul. Agus ní mar an daine ar YouTube, deach beirt ar YouTube agus seisiir ar TikTok about. Only 6 people on TikTok. Agus beirt ar YouTube. Conas atá vegetable patch. Omade. So vegetable patch. Se focail means sulsa gian it like capach. Like ní omade, not a ridge. But like what would you call it? Patch, I suppose, vegetable patch or capach. Agus that's a guy come well was get a chorma was like Willis a hain. Do you know what? And Willis a hain. A chorma omode kaikishon I Dougal Ridge mo hua chop. Kaikishon 2 weeks ago. Agus chorma packet call. I sowed a packet of kale. Was at the sullen was straka shan yevin is hopefully ní vín shock. Ní more at shock means so we don't get that much frost here on the Iron Islands. But I look on the day foster Chinese come after hopefully it'll grow well here at the kale. How much kale tabi ma mal call kale. Chabi ma vanch bit of worse a chachten. If you make your chili kale, you make your chili call. So I wanted more call. So churma gallery. Churma just omode one, just omode about budget or just maybe a 2 meter or so rich. So the jam is a couple shachten, budget gan 3 shachten. No much me gan call fast. Come on, especially like evening, then I'll have it in the winter. Well, I question the gorging glass free. So it's a capach. CEIPICH to my gap patch. When you rose at my name when les mat of ni chormagari chala blianta. There was no need for seaweed. Regard la call, especially for kale. Ni has in the nedichin lasso is fertilizer, lasso. So you don't need that much lasso for gan cáil was ní plánta ní an fat a fat a bhain ní smú that the potato plant, the fatty then rooty more, the potato plant needs a lot more fertilizer, whereas the kale ní mór and ní mas plant and ní slú. It's just ní lánach belogu the kale plant is just leaves ní lánach plantaí mar ní heasting leis. Agus mar ar the chead of lénach an chun nach chun magari. So it's about 4 or 5 years since I planted garden here. So ní heasting mór an leso. Ach ag mu inis raus as in a suir goma. Diddly do le question se van nach shokan. So well better tin chead some lian. You might get maybe 3 or 4 nights on average sing evening. You might get 3 or 4 on average nights where you might get frost or near frost. Near vinnig. Ach branch lian depends on the year. Beja line time. Could have this a hochjag v beast from the east. Remember beast from the east. Ishnach the 4th carton le Fiúin in the suir we shachten ma snachten Thompson, and we had a good week in a bit. Worst nacht the Trollman. Ní vinnig Harlan in after often that happens. Just a nav nach, that's unusual. Ní and gnarod. Just in the Gariador. I'll be imagine a rubber Gariador, rubber. Churma call agus while my golóir famine túsna blian me Martha, me fewer me Martha I gathered. Collected a huge amount of seaweed, famine. Nílas go mé famine a bhaile me. Agus there's much more lasso. Mar lasso is fertilizer. Agus ménigs my van agus mair. Myself, my wife and my father, we planted a garden. Ní yamshin nedichin million. I didn't do that much gardening myself. She my van agus mair just smó. I miss for in lasso was I who collected the seaweed, all the seaweed. And chur ma gar chur ma mar cha. I do a rich here. Mas sivilum call, but the call and full line with Joe. Kale is probably the single healthiest food you can eat. One can eat. Be as full in it. Nari slangchula is féidir immuirm. So Jade and Taija Tajantam. Taija is research. So from my own Taija Tá sé an fullain go jo lá le vitamini agus mianraí agus golóirí má go máil do chraí go máil na eilte chosint na eilte protects against cancer, heart disease, got ancient for the brain, tá sé anmha an fullain go jo. A sin agus tá fata dhéana agus a té glas. Agus a mar that child an árin. All you need is your own garden, potatoes, kale, green tea, and living on the Iron Islands, and you live to 100. Máire tu go tín chéad. So I hope. Which been chead a lá mór leis na méilte daoine teach go daire na leint cin leint touching mustó. My mother, there's Kevin on the Camino, my mother used to say, Calcanon, Calas the Kale. Oh, that's Canon, sin what's my call it, sin a merle, what do you call that a merle? Leaks. Yeah, cannon, leak. Yeah, leak. Yeah, cannon. Yeah, cannon. Leak. That's leak. So like a giant. There's fach more, lagan more milchach, more is big than milchach, that to emphasize the bigness. So more milchach, absolutely massive, more milchach. And no scallion more milchach, so a leak, cannon. That's our no scallion more milchach. Like the leak is like a giant scallion. So cannon. Ní le chiiste nó tá sé bh hiúna nach dhí are very quiet tonight. Tá sé bh hiún Tá sé bh hiúna nacht ach blog meile an téhlas teamanis. Ó tá sin go jazz. Is savilum té glass. Is savilum té glass. I love green tea. Is savilum green tea. Savilum té glass. Os am chuin réhanne go rééistéchan í leis an padchréil play agus Spraoi episode over the hot. Did any of you listen to episode number 8 of Play and Spraoi, Play agus Spraoi? Sinna chéad padchréil episode le hana le nís am séhín níos mó I think it's the first podcast I've done in about 6 months. No marsin, I think, or thereabouts. Méidigs my van with my wife, my van. Agus camera, I have to say camera. Tá se bhd níos réachte padchréile dhéanana nar tú caint le duine. No, it's a bhd níos réachte, easier. A bhd much easier when you're to do a podcast, when you're talking to someone, talking to someone. Oh, tá míle bhar níos frusta. Bhá níos frusta. Nes ma sort ma gomini nes ma dyn padchréil a bhein caint ó se bla 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 as a sin ó get mar nis tá numach tá nó tá nó rá cham faoin rutin agus bí sort ó get a tá sat ach nar ma caint le ma bhean jetan se ma caint le nómad pages agus bhein sachaí tosí gaiidí sort ó reit tá níos am cidhééis mar áis nó tá bachan má bhean bit sin an headsteach agus cúna nó tíir chu sin a tear go héin fe get mar rá she'll put her own her own thoughts on what I'm saying. No, mis lei sin she sinna kaint be she sin ru what she said well Lily Sam pages a lotion no better and blah blah blah, you know, maybe I'd be able to jump in and she'd be able to jump on me if I'm kind of getting stuck. And I've been sort sro nádarach, I suppose, as you might say, marajara sro nádarach, like a natural flow. No, it's córa nádarach, natural conversation. Dúirt duine cinint rud a cinint sin, someone said something. Dúirt Aoife, I've just followed on Spotify. Oh, Aontacha fad. Anva, gur míle mad, Aoife. Thank you very much. Aontach, tá suga máile tú taine vasan padchréil. I hope you enjoy the podcast, Aoife. Agus bhar cheiste le sin nóin tágurtin idir ridlí tú. Nícem éad a sin. Se bhfuil mai mar rá, nes le na padchréil. As fesin nach mai aine am hain, hágar se leinte bheith dionan pages láudin le beidir tína chéan am beidir chuúnamad as a sin stoppan a sin, as a sin beidir lá na bháir a hé láile inan rud céine. A sin bach beidir finúmat sa podcast. Was at racing to guided mo chuid episodes. Was at racing to guided, they'd be reasonably short because I'd do 5 minutes, 6 minute chunk and then pause, solve it, save that, and then the following day I might do another 5, 6. And then after about 3 or so days, I might have around 20-ish minutes or thereabouts on the podcast. But after Jack, le ma van to turn them on, we just do one turn, we just talk. We might just kindness, we much kind, just rounding much, just give him which is couple of, we write down, 2 or 3 potential talking points, agus just loud and much fine da chan o tí rutin agus that's that being it's naturally, it's natural. Not just kind of Latin instead of just talking to yourself, like, into the mic, whatever. That's just bhfad is. It's an podcast that's in Cannes Nochtje. To say, so it's, the most recent podcast episodes, about 34-ish minutes or thereabouts, and maybe we might try for an hour episode. Was even the time of the gemacht, and that's much a kind. Was a figure timer. You see the timer thing and the thing, the recording software, and it tells you how many minutes you've been talking. Give me normally to kind. Mar an episode sin fiú tap nach faoróníos foiid an gná episode it's about twice the length of my previous episodes, and that's just because it's so much easier to eindruchte. Dúirt shivers quite a cat. What's wrong with the teaching of Irish in schools that we can't speak it after all the years? Well, tá mar ceapaideach go leor daoine just stoppaidead fólam. There's Cara or hi, just my house Cara. Tá mar ceapa go leor daoine just stoppaidead a fólam. Nair tá scoil. Stay mar chéile le Spanish, no Frankish, no Cumicin Django. I think it's the same with any language. Or subject, like a lot of people, look, in the Harvard, look, like, science, geography, kind of stages and mounts, when I was, studying the mounts in the secondary school, and you'd be getting so much information, a sponge. It's not Harvard stage, Chirolas, Oleacht, etc., science, history, geography, etc. That's not another issue. Agus, go better blian over but after about a year or two, I've kind of forgotten huge amounts of whatever I learned in the Mount School. That's just the same with Gaelke, with people when they kind of cram for the leaving cert or whatever, they kind of just narrow bandwidth, just cram Irish. But all subjects not na Harvard look. I sin hers better probably no mushroom stig me jammer to the off shaskof and you probably forgotten more than half of what you learned or whatever. So that's probably, and people just stop. Like when you learn, you get your grades in geography, Chirolas, maths, style, etc. So really, that's it. You mightn't look at it ever again. You mightn't look at geography or geography type information or whatever, unless marmito lev laur of Chirolas or something. Unless you're actually looking at continuing after into third level or just later on in life. You get books, history books or geography books or science books, and keep yourself literate in those subjects. But most people don't. That's when they finish the thing. When they finish their after school, whether it be secondary school or third level education, lots of people they don't continue to learn. So that's it. So it's probably the same thing, I presume. That's why a lot of people don't progress over a certain amount. Thank you much in this so I'll do another because it's a bit loud and it's almost 30 minutes now. So really in this manner timer janumad. I'll add 10 minutes. Indra time janumad. I'm adding 10 minutes of Indra time janumad. There's Liam Collins and two loud bear in the Gael give near Lema. Was getting near Lame loud Gael bear. No, ní mór an le Gemliana, no mar sin. I haven't read a book, either in Irish or in English, for about 10 years. Mayal Sha, man Sha. an smartphone sin cod that's a smartphone case mal a smartphone a phone clichte near le mai laule benach jamlin forman smartphone just be me as viech my lef lawer I used to read yo lefen sin seach lawer some lien, you know, I would have read 5 or 6 or more books per year. Nearly my Laura Neil is Kinnad. I haven't read any book for Neil is Kinnad. Neil is Kinnad. Untold time. Bavalum. Tussie level at least I'd like to start reading again. The other things are TikTok diddly do. Ní cemén the chin. No, ní le chester chin. No questions. Me tú hain lev Liam. Do you read yourself? Me tú hain lev. Lein tú mór an ó hain Liam. So well sé dúirt car cechahfuil sunny is an cailín bag an nach tá sé tar céin buch le dí. Tá sé tar bar agus tar céin. Tá sé tar. Dúirt Aoife, is Irish your first language? She. Tis Gaeilge mo ché time. She Gaeilge mo ché time go. Irish is my first language. Agus bei bloc meile gon take glass am. Just in jazz. Sin and jazz go an vlasta agus fullain Joe an agus my guys are thirsty. I'm starting to get tired now. Can tell me, well, check out your hocht. It's after 8:30. I kept going Mulholland Fos Shashan. I think my biological clock, I think my biological clock, my circadian, I think it's still in the old time. So I kept going Mulholland cap which I lausha nai. It's ni lausha hocht. I think my body's thinking that it's 9:30 as opposed to 8:30. My cap, baited. Mínuch. Tá ma ag mínuch is yawning. Mínuch is yawning. So yeah, so for me, I think it's more like 9:30, but it's only 8:30, but it feels probably more like 9:30. Tugish a couple go me glachta. It'll take me a few more days probably until I'm fully adjusted to the new time. Gemma go 100 bims sa lab, but I'm usually in bed between 10 and 11. No martian heart about that. Being a Kylie Berg, sinit na a Kylie Berg stas a gat when my daughter goes into the cot, usually around 10 or thereabouts. I go to bed as well. Be my thursach, I'm tired. Be my thursach, masha. Chan much a look a hollow heart and okay, we all go to bed around the same time. As chin bushim heart at a shaft, no martian, I'm usually awake at around shaft o'clock. No martian or thereabouts. Masha be my heart. Yeah, well, any more about Thursday, I feel a bit tired now. Better go back Thursday, hain. I'm probably getting tired talking to myself. No more. Better. Take glass come out. That's in the jazz. Right, just name YouTube, no TikTok, oops. Get imagine the kinch. And I click out the kinch on colour. Michi go ma colour. Benchi go ma colour. Ja being buiks like you. Oh, so and she's a gat has been a butcher like you. Tibiste go hundul. Tibiste go beja nomad. No ho bichi na colour. As fanichi go hundul fanichi na colour there. Nay would like ja would like she, after her battle in the cat, she'll fall asleep usually within a minute or two. Because she usually stays asleep for 9 hours ish, maybe close to 10 hours sometimes. But gone during the night. So just an eat chumsa. It's 7 I love sleep and top of the good job. More mean colour mam no known colour anima. If I don't get good sleep, either good sleep or no sleep, I feel it anima. But just dúirt Wendy cechahfuilta na bach le chuna sa táú cechahfuiltú is smailm gailge a laucht smailm gailge a laucht á go má Wendy go má agus cé asú hain Wendy where are you from yourself cé asú hain as there's car lang made that last cínte le cúna dé Kimis numa ta fáci at a time but it's 2 numas go le fáci. So you have 3 minutes left Kundaloo. Good jazz. Kundaloo ta dún jagan agus trédá. Kundaslu. Kundaloo and Kundaslu. Kundaloo is Kundaloo and Kundaslu. Sé go barúil. Agus Se, but tá couple ceist couple of numat you have 3 minutes left to ask a native Irish speaker from the Aran Islands. Just dúirt Luke Marbles, dún an gáil atá fasta ágama. Stone dára duine tíchana lena. Stone dára duine tíchana le nacht. You're the second person from dún an gáil tonight. Stone dára duine as tíchana le nacht. Agus go tí chuna le bú chun an jazz bhí má an couple of turn I've been to tí chuna a couple of times now mé turn tí turn my cap I've been there 3 times my cap mar má gona mú beidir chéir a turn maybe 4 times well tí turn écha 3 times anyway I've been agus an jazz go job let's Kunda Allen. Is even lum I love even lum Kentain tide what's the name of it? Kentain what tide Kentain tide not park National that's a national park and all Ní Glen Stalls in it Thomas tursach I gaidi jam ma doch nights ma tursach I get forgetful when I'm getting tired. No Park Nation to Glenveigh Sinead Glán Vehebe yeah Glenveigh and just vi man friho I've been there twice and it's a go morlum I loved it there. I've been there twice and really enjoyed it. Park Glán Vehebe yeah and just go job as there's the could you say that how are you again never heard Cechahfuiltú like Céim Chaí on Wiltu but with native speakers here on the islands and Connemara is a Cechahfuiltú Utugama you well Utugama Cechahfuiltú how are you are you well Cechahfuiltú agus Tá har céin Tá har bar I'm very good Rubag tursach a bit tired Kes mucha sin Tá airim goma apart from feeling a bit tired talking to myself better rubag road airim goma I feel good go hard to race making tea glass especially after a mug of green tea That's not just Joe agus sneige Glán Vehebe and just ar fad. No, wasn't that sin? Here's that. See, that sin. Tan timer catch. Sin chaid no map manish. Chaid 2 20s. Chaid. Sin years was it in the sire. Not care. Chaid. The chaid nomad catch. 40 Chaid Nomad gotcha 40 minutes have elapsed, have passed. Chaid Nomad. Mar tá mai ceap gúil gobin piece of my kind and tamish. I think that's a good amount of talking now I've done for 40 minutes. God is lumhain. God can't lumhain. Mahain is mahain. Mahain is mahain. Ketaiche. Ah, Nilanach mahain is mahain. Who's out? Who's there? It's just mahain is mahain. Just myself and myself. Just myself and myself. Just mahain is mahain. So come on. Carcolor, beidir go bhá mu sin piece of my agent. I think I'll leave it there. That's a good bit done there now. So come on, Carcolor. Gonoid mar slán go fóil. Sné mar slán go fóil.